If you feel like you're wandering through life with no map, like you're moving through fog and nothing feels clear, this episode is for you. And before we go any further, I want to say this clearly. Wherever you are in life right now, it's not a failure. It might just be the place where your next chapter is quietly beginning. Hi, I'm Ambar, and this is Ambar in real life. This podcast is my space to share the journey of becoming. Through honest reflections, personal stories, and conversations with people in my life who have shaped who I am. From health and self worth to love, career, and everything in between, I'm here to speak what's true and sometimes comment on some of my posts that I've written on my blog, Ambar Virtual. If you are on your own path of growth and craving real connection, welcome. You're not alone. Hi, and welcome back to Ambar in Real Life, the podcast where we talk about personal growth, emotional clarity, and what it actually means to live with love, intention, and perspective in the middle of real life. I'm your host, Ambar, and today I want to talk about what it feels like to lose your sense of direction. Not in a dramatic, everything is falling apart way, but in a quieter, more confusing space when life hasn't gone the way you imagined. When you're functioning, you're showing up, doing the things, but internally something feels off. So, this episode is for anyone who has caught themselves thinking, this isn't how I thought my life will look like by now, or I don't even know what the next step is. I just know I can stay here. And here's something I have learned both personally and through watching so many people around me go through this. Clarity doesn't come from controlling everything, and peace isn't something that you chase or finally achieve. It is something that you cultivate quietly and intentionally, especially in those seasons where life feels messy or out of your control. Before we go into the 6 steps I want to walk you through today, I want to offer you a simple grounding check in. No pressure to answer everything perfectly, just notice what comes up. Who are you right now? What do you value? Which direction matters to you, even if it's still blurry? And what's the very next step that you can take? Not the whole plan, just the next step. You can reflect on these questions as we go through this episode today, and you can take your time to respond to each of one of them after we finish with this session. So, with that, let's get started. Step one, meet your inner voices. The first step in finding your way again to purpose and direction is noticing what's happening inside your own mind. Because most of us don't just have one voice in our head, we have many. There's the critical one that compares you to everyone else. There's the one that panics and wants certainty right now. There's the one that tells you that you are behind. Then there's usually a quieter voice, the intuitive one, the curious one, the part of you that actually knows what you need but doesn't always get the microphone. And here's the mindset shift that changed everything for me when I finally understood its power. Those voices aren't enemies, they're parts of you asking for attention. So instead of trying to silence them, get to know them. Give them names if that helps. Notice when one takes over. And when your inner critic shows up, respond the way you would to a friend that you love. With honesty, yes, but also with kindness. High standards can coexist with compassion, and growth doesn't require self punishment. So when something doesn't go as planned, try asking, what can I learn here? Instead of what's wrong with me, and let yourself rest, let yourself feel, let yourself process what you're going through in that moment. That's not weakness, that's emotional intelligence. Step two, let go of the illusion of control. So many of us were taught that if we just plan enough, try hard enough, and do everything right, life will unfold smoothly. But real life doesn't work like that. You are allowed to hold the next step in your hands without holding the entire map. You're allowed to move forward without knowing exactly where everything leads. A lot of people feel stuck not because there are no options, but because they're waiting for the perfect one, the door that comes with certainty, with approval, and a guarantee that it won't hurt. Meanwhile, other doors are already open. We just don't see them because we are fixated on how things were supposed to go. So focus on what's actually within your control, your energy, your effort, your response, and gently release what isn't. Other people's expectation, for example, imagine timelines and the pressure to have it all figured out by a certain age. Step 3, see setbacks as signposts, not failures. I have already talked about this before, so I'm not going to over explain this too much. But what if the moments that you call wrong turns aren't proof that you messed up, but information? Every detour, every ending, every disappointment carries data. It shows you what doesn't fit anymore, what drains you, what no longer aligns with who you are in this moment. You're not starting from zero, you're starting from experience. So sometimes it really helps to reframe moments like this. Okay, this isn't what I imagined, but maybe it is exactly what I needed to see. So you are not lost. You are in between versions of yourself. And that in between space, yes, it's confusing and yes, it is very uncomfortable, but it's also incredibly fertile to plant new seeds. Step 4, celebrate tiny wins. We tend to underestimate how powerful small steps are. We think progress has to look dramatic to count, like a big decision, a bold move, a complete transformation. But momentum is built quietly and slowly. Each night, try asking yourself, did I make one small choice aligned with my values today? Did I speak to myself with a little more kindness? Did I drink enough water? Did I listen to my body when it asks to rest? This may not look impressive on the outside, and people may not really care about this, but they matter. And they're evidence that you are moving, even when it doesn't feel obvious yet. So track your small wins, acknowledge them, and let them build trust between who you are today and who you are committed to becoming. Step 5, expect life to surprise you. Very few meaningful lives follow a straight line. I don't know anyone yet who have lived a life exactly as they planned to, because plans change, priorities shift, things fall apart, and sometimes that's not a problem to solve, but just a transition to honor. When something unexpected happens, instead of immediately labeling as a failure, ask yourself, what if this is leading me somewhere I couldn't have planned for? What if this is the path that I was meant to walk on? Some of the most aligned chapters in life start with endings that we didn't choose. So honor them, live them, stay with them long enough to understand why they're actually here. Step 6, let curiosity lead the way. When things feel unclear, curiosity is a gentler guide than control. Instead of asking, what now, in a panic, try asking, what if? What if I explored instead of forcing certainty? What if I experimented instead of committing forever? What if I tried this new idea before completely forgetting about it? Because the plan was never the point. The growth was. Life feeling messy doesn't mean that you are doing it wrong. It often means that you are in the middle of becoming. You are growing. You are shedding one version of yourself and slowly meeting another one. So today I want to leave you with this. What's one gentle step that you can take this week to reconnect with yourself, with your values, and with your direction? As always, take all of this slowly, take this kindly, because you are already moving, you are already learning, you are already becoming. So thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I know it was a very short episode, but I wanted to give you something to think of and to remind you that some things require us to be a bit more gentler and more open instead of trying to control everything. If this episode resonated with you, I would love to hear from you. You can reach out on Substack, on Instagram, or just leave a comment below this video. And until next time, please take care of your mind, please take care of your body, and please take care of your heart. Bye!